Welcome back to another episode of Happier Hour. I'm your host, Grayson. Let me tell you something, folks. We got an exciting one for you today. There's going to be no tears, unless they're tears of joy, unless they're tears running down your thighs. We're doing a Q&A today, all right? We're doing a little Q&A because if there's one thing about me, I am mysterious. I am enjoying a beverage. It's an odd coloration. It is just tequila and grapefruit, not a Paloma, even though that's exactly what a Paloma is. Also, I want to start off by saying this. Overall, I thought the last episode you guys were going to dog on me for shedding some tears and getting personal and emotional with you guys. Overall, very supportive. Thank you so much. That meant a lot to me. It shows me that you guys care about me as a person. It shows that I can be myself and break down emotionally and let my walls come down, as I like to say. And you guys will still accept me, so I appreciate that. I'm also going to do better about making eye contact, which is going to be difficult because I have to use my phone and I will have to use my laptop in order to get the Q's and to get the A's, if you get what I'm saying. Also, as evidenced by that, my stomach's doing a little thing right now where maybe some of you guys know this. Basically, I have Chipotle for lunch, and then my stomach decides to do a 360. My stomach decides to basically I have Chipotle, and then my stomach acts like I just ate a common lunch or dinner from like Great Britain. In other words, it thinks I just had something that was inedible. Shout out to all my British people that tune into this. I apologize if you're watching this from across the pond. I would imagine you probably just had a nice little scrum or a scran of fizzy wickets and puddle buckets or whatever you guys eat over there. You know, pot pies with Cheerio on top and a little bit of dungaree sauce. I don't know. Hey, we're starting off strong. We're starting off strong. By the way, I did turn the microphone up again because people are still making comments about how they can barely hear. Hey, get a cotton swab, get something, get a water gun, spritz your ear, and open them up, folks. Open up those ears, open up those legs, open up your hearts. Open up your hearts. And without further ado, let's get into some dang questions. All right, so I got about 30 questions on my Instagram, and I got scared that wasn't going to be enough. So I also put an Instagram story, or 30 questions in my email. I was worried that wasn't going to be enough for the pod, so I also did one on Instagram, and I have already gotten like hundreds of questions, and I posted like 10 minutes ago. Also, my laptop's going to die. I'm going to plug it in real quick. So, for the listeners, quick intermission. You gotta hear me breathing hard. You have to hear me breathing hard because I'm not getting exercise because I'm too busy living life and drinking on a Monday night. Without further ado, question number 1. All right, these are all dating questions. Here we go. Q&A. Name your top 3 rom-coms. Excellent question. P.S. Yes, I will watch them. Watch them. Hey, don't wash yourself with them. Unless you're in a bath watching rom-coms. P.S. Number 2. If you ever move to New York, you already have a friend here. I'm down to trauma dump over some coffee. I'm ready to regular dump over some coffee. I had, on Sunday, I had a cold brew and an iced latte with regular milk. For those of you who have tuned in for a while now, you will know regular milk does not agree with me. So not only did I have iced coffee, enema, bottled nature's enema, I had an iced latte, extra coffee, nature's enema, and dairy, which for me is another enema. I had enema to the power of 3. I had the triple dippers worth of enemas. And when I tell you I was Glued to the toilet seat would be an understatement. I would say I merged with it. I became one with the porcelain throne. And when I got up after doing absolute battle on the toilet, I just had to make sure that the microphone was on. I didn't even check before I started recording. When I was doing absolute battle with the porcelain, taking the Browns to the Super Bowl, when I got up, have you ever taken a nap on a leather couch in the summer? And then when you wake up, it makes that noise. It's like when you get up from the toilet, or when you get up from a leather couch in the summer and your skin has to unsuction from the leather. My skin, the skin covering my hamstrings, uh, peeled off of the toilet seat as if it was uh, a screen protector on a phone. Anyways, let's get back into the question. Top three rom-coms. Easy, 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 easy. Number one, my favorite rom-com of all time. It's called Just Friends. It's with Ryan Reynolds, and I forget her name. I learn it every time, and then I forget it every time. It's fun. Um, it's holiday themed. I love a holiday themed rom-com. Number two, mm, for some reason the name is escaping me. Why is the name escaping me? Good thing about a computer, and you guys probably hear this little typing. Crazy Stupid Love. The I cannot believe I just forgot the name of that. That is arguably one of the greatest, the most typical like golden standard of rom-com because it's extra funny, it's extra romantic. Let's see. So those two, let me look up rom-coms. For some reason I'm blanking right now and this is just like I don't know, very embarrassing. Maybe I shouldn't have done a Q&A. Um one I don't like 10 Things I Hate About You. Not a big fan of it. If I oh, I hate Love Actually too. I hate movies that romanticize cheating. And one of the characters in that movie cheats, and that really makes me mad. It really pisses me off. So I'm not a big fan of that one. Um, I also like When Harry Met Sally's obviously a classic. Somebody said La La Land. That's not a rom com. That's a I'm gonna rip your heart out, and then at the end of the movie, I'm gonna pretend to give it back to you, and you're like, oh my god, thank you so much, and then I'm gonna take it away, right in your face. Um, ooh, Hitch. I love Hitch too. Hitch is a great one. I'm a big fan of Hitch. That one's a lot of fun. That would probably be my top three. Plus, Hitch is one of my mom's favorite movies, so that one has a little bit of like a nostalgia and like a family feeling to me because like I remember specifically I when I was a kid, maybe like 7 or 8, my mom was laying in bed watching that movie and I was watching it with her and the part where he does the dancing and he's like trying to hide from the paparazzi behind the woman and dance and gets caught. That part I remember cracking up with my mom when I was a child and she was um, raising me to grow and love rom coms. So that's my answer there. Awesome. All right. On to the next one. Hey man, I was wondering if anyone had ever told you that you're too good looking to have any problems. I will be honest, folks, I have not read through these questions, so I might run into some issues. Hey man, I was wondering if anyone had ever told you that you're too good looking to have any problems. Here's the thing, I don't care how hot you are, you can always have problems. I don't think problems go away. I do think there is a thing such as pretty privilege, and full disclosure, I can accept and 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 I can accept that I might have pretty privilege. I'm not gonna act like I don't have comment sections that are full of compliments, borderline sexual harassment. So I can't sit here with with the platform that I have built upon the people that leave comments like they do and act like I am missing out on pretty privilege. So I think that's what you might be referring to. So yes, I do think I have pretty privilege. That being said, I don't think it solves all of my problems. For example, for example, I've gotten several speeding tickets in my life, several, because I like to drive a little fast. I like to live life on the edge, and um, as soon as the cop pulls up, you know, got to the window every time. I flashed my beautiful hazel eyes, which I'm trying to dramatize with the green jacket and the green hat. Flash my pretty hazel eyes at them. There were times when it was a man, there were times when it was a woman. I tried to use my pretty privilege and I tried to get out of the ticket because I can't afford it, nor can I afford the increase on insurance. So, um, did it work? Never. Not once. So it doesn't help me out through everything, um, unfortunately. But on to the next question. On to the next question. That is not a question. That was another borderline sexual harassment. So, all right. Um. Okay. Next question. First of all, I just wanted to say I don't think you should feel bad or embarrassed for crying. Thank you. I should absolutely feel embarrassed for crying. Crying on the internet is not something I enjoy doing. Um, the question for the next episode is, what are you listening to right now? Good question. Excellent question, actually. So I'm in the book club at my corporate job, my 9 to 5, my engineering job. I am part of the book club. We are currently reading The Briar Club. I won't give too much away. It's about essentially a boarding house for women. I believe it's 14 different women. There's one, the owner or the head mistress of the house. She has a son, and he is the only man, or he's the man of the house, quote unquote. And that's what I'm currently listening to. I'm not much of a physical reader. I can't read very well, as evidenced by the stuttering and issues I have. When anytime I see a long stretch of passage, my mind kind of does a blank, and it's like, all right, we're gonna run for the hills. Um, Much more of an audio guy. So I listen to the Briar Club. As far as music goes, let's see. Let's go to the Spotify. Let's see what I got in my most recent searches. My sister sent me a sermon that of one of my hometown churches that we went to growing up. She sent me a sermon after listening to last week's YouTube, watching the YouTube video, and she said she thought it would help, and it did. I listened to it this morning on my commute to work. It was great. Uh, so so let's look at what my day list title is. My day list title is Nostalgia Throwback Pop Night. Okay. And then the top 3 most recent searches are Red Wine Supernova by Chapel Roan, Die Trying by Party Next Door and Drake. I know what you're thinking. Drake's an awful guy. This song is great. There's no denying. I like it. I enjoy it. And then the next one is Bartender by T-Pain, because I was trying to come up with like what a fun karaoke song would be to do. I think it would be Bartender by T-Pain. Yeah, the Briar Club is in there. Only Girl in the World by Rihanna. That's also in there. All I Ask by Adele. Another karaoke song I was trying to come up with. And then Who's That Chick by David Guetta and Rihanna. Clearly, I'm in a big Rihanna kick right now. Shout out to ASAP Rocky. He got free. So that's kind of what I'm listening to. As far as podcasts go, a couple different ones. I mostly listen to comedians. Let's see, podcasts. I've got a couple I got a couple of people on the internet that I'm mutual following with. That their podcasts I'll listen to, like Brooke and Connor make a podcast. That's always a great one. It's always a fun listen. Same thing with the Broski Report. I listen to Bad Friends with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. Andrew Santino is one of my favorite comedians of all time. There's a podcast I listen to called We Might Be Drunk with Sam Morrill and Mark Normand. They are one of the first couple of comedians that I started listening to back in high school, and it just kind of kept going. I don't listen to them all the time, mostly when it's just them two. Stavi's World, Stavros Halkias, he is another comedian who's hilarious. He has a podcast that I listen to, and then yeah, that's about it. One of my one of the podcasts I used to listen to, the acting podcast, to learn, hopefully, to pick up some skills on how to act. But unfortunately, here I am not knowing how to act after listening to the podcast. All right, let's take it to the Instagram questions. All right, question number 1: do I accept cheeks in the DMs? No, I do not. I do not want to see your cheeks. I don't want to see any part of you. Do not send them. Don't be gross. Please. Please don't. Did you always know you sounded like Schmidt, or is that something you found out? That is something I found out. It was during COVID, the peak of it. Um, I was living with my cousin at the time and his fiance at the time. They are now married. I love you both if you're listening. I don't think you are, but if you are, love you both, miss you both. I just talked to my cousin this past weekend. We talked about Pokemon. We talked about what's next in our lives. I was for those of you who don't know, I was the best man at my cousin's wedding. We lived together in college for a year, and then we also lived for an additional year it was me, him, and his fiance at the time. They're now married. And he was, or I was the best man at his wedding. He will be the best man at my wedding. Joe, if you're listening to this, I'm not going to formally promposal you with a sign, but I will shake your hand and ask you to be my best man. That is if I get married, but come on. Let's be honest here. That's a tall task. Not really sure it's doable at this point. Not really sure I'm able to accomplish that. Had to double check. We're still recording. Thank God. Hopefully this episode is nice and loud for you guys. You might have to turn this bitch down. All right. Let's keep going. Wait, what was the question? Oh, yeah, Schmidt. Peak of COVID. My now cousin-in-law, shout out to Jess, she put me on to New Girl. Well, her and Joe, Jess and Joe, put me on to New Girl. They said it's a fun show, and they said that I kind of reminded them of Schmidt. I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. Turns out it's one of my favorite shows of all time. And during COVID, one of the hobbies I picked up was impressions. I picked up, damn it, the picture's on the box. It's Japanese garden. I picked up Schmidt. I picked up Shaggy. Like Scoob. Like let's bust out of here. And I picked up. Who else did I pick up? Dobby at one point. I can't really do that one anymore. I don't remember the inflections in my voice that I had to do. Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. Oh, right. Goose goes poison. That one wasn't as good. It used to be better. The more if I smoke a cigarette and try it, much easier. But yeah, basically during COVID, I was bored. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go outside. The restaurant I was working at the time shut down. I couldn't go into the office to work as a receptionist. So I had nothing to do. And so all day I was watching TV and practicing impressions. Oh, The Grinch. That's another one. Jim Carrey's The Grinch. 4 o'clock, while when chef pity. 4:30, stare into the abyss. And so that I learned that I could do Schmidt because all I was doing were other voices, much to the chagrin of my cousin and my now cousin-in-law who lived with me at the time. They were forced to listen to that constantly, all day. Let's see. Let's keep going. All right, here we go. What superpower would you have if you could have a superpower? My superpower, this would be my superpower. I wish I had the power to make somebody else have a foot fetish. Let me clarify before you guys start twiddling those thumbs and typing at me. on both sides of the aisle on this one, those who are foot fetish haters and those who are foot fetishers. I would threaten people with that. I would say, hey, listen, if you keep talking to me, punk, I'm going to make you love feet for the rest of your life. I think that would be a great way to threaten people. I think it would be a great way for people to finally leave me alone. I'm just going to be like, hey, you keep bad mouthing me, I'm going to make you be fixated on Tootsies for the rest of your life. Subsequently, one of the other questions that I just saw in here, how do you feel about foot fetishes, from somebody that has the word foot in their username? That's not for me. Okay. For those of you who know, I was once tricked, and this is a story for a different time. I was once tricked into sending foot videos and feet pictures to a stranger on the internet because I thought I was being considered for a footwear campaign. Because, folks, I am the stupidest person on the planet, the dumbest person on the planet. Quite possibly does not get any dumber from here. This is ground zero right here. So I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of feet. I think feet, other people's feet disgust me. My feet disgust me. Get it away from me. All right. Question. Good day, Grayson. Okay. Yeah, it's not, sometimes. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. My question is, what are the things you usually enjoy doing alone? Great, excellent question. Thank you so much. I just spit. Hopefully some of you guys behind the camera weren't like, trying to catch it in your mouth. For those of you who are audio only listeners, I pretended to be like I was trying to imagine like somebody has a t-shirt cannon and they're shooting t-shirts into crowds, and like, when somebody is actively trying to catch the t-shirt, picture that, but with spit. So some of the things some of the things I enjoy doing alone, working out, going for walks, getting coffee. I used to, when I was in college, I used to enjoy going to the movies alone. I loved going to movie theaters. This was mostly when theaters opened back up after COVID. That was something I liked doing by myself. I used to enjoy going to a bar by myself and just getting one beer and just like, like basically just like having a decompressing, like, I used to do this thing. So I live in Philadelphia right now. When I first moved here, I lived in Manayunk. It's a small little town just basically on the outskirts of the city of Philadelphia, in between the suburbs and Philly. And and I used to go to the same coffee shop every Saturday at 10 a.m. and order the same thing. And every single week on Saturday at 10 a.m. I would order the same exact thing, same drink, same food, and then I would go and sit down and I would write poetry because I am a bit of a head ass. I don't know if you've picked up on that. That was something I really enjoyed doing alone. I love a routine. I love doing the same thing all the time because I don't know why. It's just something I really enjoy, and that was one of the things that I would do. So, great question. Thank you so much. All right, another Q&A. Shout out to Brooke if you're listening to this. Hi, Miso and Grayson. Hello. What has been your favorite concert or music festival that I've ever been to? So recently, this last summer, well, not this last summer, this last fall, so like maybe September, October, November, I was dating a girl, like very seriously dating. Got very close to being boyfriend, girlfriend. We went to a couple of concerts. For dates, I got free tickets, and I was like, "Hey, you want to come with me?" They were close to where I live, and so those ones were fun. They weren't my favorite though, simply because I didn't really know who the artists were. I went to a concert when I was for my 22nd birthday in Idaho. I went with my sister and my now brother-in-law and her friends. It was a lot of fun. It was Odessa. It's kind of like it's like hippie EDM music is how best I would describe it. Like hippie EDM music. It's like fun and lots of colors and vibrant, and everybody's drunk. I was blackout drunk. I don't remember it really, to be honest with you, but hey, it was my birthday. I'm gonna do what I want to. Um, what do I like to do in my free time when I'm not working or making content? Any cool hobbies? I'm playing Pokemon. I understand that's not a hobby, but I'm playing Pokemon. I just finished a playthrough of Pokemon Soul Silver. I'm gonna start up Pokemon Emerald. I want to get back into writing stand up. I wrote stand up for like 2 months, and then I was like, wow, I'm really bad at this. I need to give it a break. But like, I don't know. I That's something a lot of people tell me that they think I could do it. I don't. The thing about stand up is you have to have some excessive level of confidence to the point where like you can get up on stage. When you get up on stage, you have to assume that you are the funniest person in the room. You have to act like you're the funniest person in the room. Otherwise, you're going to bomb no matter what. It doesn't matter how funny your content is. It doesn't matter how, you know, hilarious the punchlines are. If you don't have the confidence, you're going to bomb. You're going to bomb no matter what. And I don't have that confidence built up yet. I don't think I'm the funniest person in any room I walk into. So, unfortunately, until I get to that point, I'm here. My bits and jokes are on the internet. They're not live in person. And my manager, bless her heart, she sees a bright future in me. I don't think she would be my manager if that weren't the case. And she's like, yeah, when we were originally talking about a concept for a podcast, because she knew this was something I wanted to get into, she was like, yeah, like, and who knows, like maybe one day we can take the podcast on the road and you can do like live shows. And I was like, uh, I guess. I don't know. Is that something you guys would be interested in? All 3,000 of the subscribers that I have and listeners that I have. Um, Genuine question. If you guys would be interested in that, I would love to get your opinion on it. Um, Anyways, where have I always wanted to be? Where have I always wanted to visit? Your mom's house. Just kidding. Can be a fictional world too. Um, hmm. Where have I always wanted to visit? Coachella would be cool, but I'm skeptical about uh, the desert. I'm skeptical. Every time I hear about Coachella, it's from people that are like regulars, and they always say the same thing. They're always like, "Oh, all the influencers ruined it," or the influencers that go, they're like, "Yeah, it was fun, but like, it's all right." I also don't really like. So, oh, I said nevertheless so much in the last episode. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Somebody counted, I think it was like 16 neverthelesses. That's how you know I'm really struggling because I keep having to like change my thought by being like, nevertheless. Nevertheless. So if anybody's counting, the burp counter should be up to 3. Take a shot every time I burp. Take a shot every time I say nevertheless. Nevertheless. There you go. Let's get hammered. Just kidding. Yeah, maybe Coachella. Atlantis would be cool. Maybe like a DMV in like a not a great neighborhood would be fun. Just get like the thrill of like, man, this place sucks. Or they don't have a ton of Carl's Juniors here on the East Coast. I do miss a Western bacon cheeseburger. I don't know. I should probably visit an H&R Block soon. Tax season is upon us, folks. Which brings me to my first sponsored segment. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. In all honesty, the one place I would love to go. Honestly, I haven't been to a water park in a long time, and I know water parks are a bit disgusting. Last time I went to a water park, I'm pretty sure somebody pooped in the wave pool. Wasn't me. But yeah, maybe a water park. That sounds fun. Or no, maybe I would like to go paintballing. Paintballing would be fun. Just get shot by like kids at a birthday party. It's their birthday party. I went because I wanted to try out a new hobby. I have a hair in my mouth. I wanted to try out a new hobby, and all these 8-year-olds with camouflage on and souped up guns because their parents are rich just paint me like the Mona Lisa with blues and greens and reds. And they call me weird things like Skibbity Toilet. That would be fun. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, let's go back to the Instagram questions. All What's nice about this is the ones that my friends submit are at the very top. One of my friends said, "Does it scream?" It does, but not in a weird way. It screams like, you know, when you put a kettle on the stove because you want to make tea. Shout out to my British crowd. I know you guys like tea along with your fizzy wickets and bumble dumps. That's the noise it makes. It kind of like whistles, but like shrilly to the point where it's like you would put it like you would hear this noise in a British horror movie. Shout out to Love Actually. That right there, folks, is called a callback joke. Thank God. Maybe I am set to be a comedian. Rate my last bang. These are questions from my friends, folks. Rate my last bang. 69 out of 10. That is not a pun. Yeah, it is. Are you in love with me? Oh, are you in love with me twice? Why are you obsessed with me? These are my friends, folks. All right, let's go to other questions. Uh, what do I love about New York City? Excellent question. I love the feeling it makes me feel. Every time I go there, I feel like getting shit done. I feel like I have 10 things that I can do at any given time. There's never a place I haven't been to. Um, I don't know. You have to walk everywhere, you have to stand everywhere. Whereas here in Philly, I do a lot of driving. Uh, I don't know. It makes me feel busy and it makes me want to get stuff done. It just makes me motivated. I don't know. I just really like it. It's something about the air in the city. Everybody's mad at something and they tend to take it out on each other, and that's okay. That's just kind of the vibe of the city. I don't know. I feel like it's a place where I could spread kindness and love. I don't know. I don't know. I just really like it. What do I have against Aperol spritzes? I went to an event in Philly. I think it was summertime last year, where the purpose was like an Aperol Spritz themed event. I had about 50 of them, and first of all, I don't know what's in Aperol or a Spritz, but let me tell you something. It wasn't like an Aperol Spritz. It was like an Aperol waterfall. I had so many of them. The next morning, worst hangover of my life. Since then, I refuse to drink them. They don't even taste good. They've got a weird flavor. So, no thank you. What's my favorite color? You. No, I'm just kidding. Probably green. Given that I'm wearing a green hat, green jacket, green eyes, can't lose. Probably green. Favorite ice cream flavor? Ooh, good question. Favorite ice cream flavor. Every time I go home, my mom, no matter what time of year it is, this most recently I went home for the holidays and it's 30 degrees out and snowing, and she's always sure to get my favorite ice cream, and it's Moose Tracks. Moose Tracks. It's very good, very tasty. I would say Moose Tracks. What was your first date like? Did the connection last? The first date I ever went on? I don't think I can remember the first date I ever went on. Um, I was probably in like a freshman in high school, maybe. Obviously, the connection didn't last because I'm here, 25 and single, and I'm pretty sure the first girl I went on a date with is now married. So clearly, the connection didn't last that long. Why did you name your lovely daughter Miso? Other names that you had in mind? Excellent question. So when I got Miso, I was living with my girlfriend at the time. Um, we wanted to get a cat. When we knew we wanted to name based off the cat, because one thing about me, you can't name something until you know what it looks like. So when I got Miso and I picked her up from the animal shelter and brought her home, I noticed that she had a little dot on her nose, and some people have talked about it. You can see it if you look at videos and pictures and all that. Um, And so I saw the dot on her nose, and immediately my first two name suggestions were Dot or Button, which to this day I love both of those names. I love Dot, I love Button. The old ball and chain at the time, the old ball and chain shot both of those down. She was like, "No, I don't like those." And so I was like, "Okay, what names do you like?" She didn't come up with any. So I was like, "All right, let's get the gears turning. Let's get the gears turning." And then I thought of Miso because we went to get ramen or something that night. It was around the winter time. It was like maybe late November, early December, and we were going to get ramen. And I said, "What about Miso?" And the rest is history. Let's see. Any paranormal experiences? Go back to episode 1, I think. I do have a one paranormal experience, which uh, is essentially, long story short, I got a snow globe. You had to wind it up and it played a jingle. One night in the middle of the night, I was couldn't sleep because I felt like a presence, and all of a sudden the jingle started playing, even though there was nobody around the snow globe. I was the only one in the room. So scary, very scary. Uh, do I have a favorite plant? The Venus flytrap, just because it's cool. I think. Favorite type of cheese? Dick cheese. No, I'm just, just kidding. Visceral reaction to that one. Whoops. Um, I really like smoked Gouda. I don't know why. Hey, who smoked this Gouda? No, that was stupid. You're telling me a Gouda smoked. Hey, this is how you work. This is how you build out jokes. You start with nothing. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was this podcast. It took me 8 episodes to stutter over a joke 4 times before moving on to the next segment. All right, moving on to the next segment. All right, more questions. Do you think social media has an effect on your mental health? Absolutely, and I'll come back to it. Let me finish this. Do you think it contributes to your feelings of being alone? I don't. Not me personally. I think it does to people in general. Actually, yeah, it does to me all the time. I'm a liar. Yeah, when I see people are out doing things, it happened just recently. I have friends of mine that got invited to some music festival in Aspen, and they deserve to be there. They absolutely deserve to be there. They're amazing people. They're great content creators. But I was like, damn, why didn't I get invited? Because I'm toxic like that, and I think I deserve invites to places, which is not the case. And I know the comparison is the thief of joy, which is something I try to not do, but it happens. So yes, I do think it contributes to the feelings of me being alone, because ultimately I was like, they're there and I'm here and I'm not doing anything and I'm alone. Does it have an effect on your mental health? Yes, absolutely. I remember when I started out, it really negatively affected my mental health. I really cared a lot about the numbers. I cared a lot about, like, oh, this post didn't do well, this one did do well. Hate comments. Those tore me down. I hated being perceived by people. I hated seeing people do better than me. I was very competitive with people who were in a similar situation as me when I first started out. But ultimately, probably about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, um, when I came back, for those of you who know, I took a year off of social media and I came back. When I came back, it was much different. Um, I didn't care about the numbers anymore. I didn't care about hate comments. They started making me laugh. So, like, when people leave weird, like, sexual harassment comments or, like, comments that, like, making fun of me, those make me laugh. They don't bother me anymore. Don't get me wrong, it makes me uncomfortable from time to time when it's, like, over the top sexual harassment, but, like, you know, it's never going to go away. It's never going to stop, no matter what I do. And I know if I address it, it's only going to make it worse. That's how the internet works. You address something, it always gets worse. So, when bad things happen to me throughout my life and on social media, anything in general, when bad things or inconvenient things happen, I try to laugh them off. I think that's the best perspective to have on it. So, next question. Did you have a favorite teacher or coach, and what made them your favorite? I had a teacher. My kindergarten teacher, also my first grade teacher. Her name, I won't reveal it, but she was great. I loved her when I was a kid. She was amazing. and I was a super mega fan of Power Rangers growing up. And they had a saying on Power Rangers that um, it said the Power Rangers' job is to protect and serve the galaxy. Word for word, protect and serve the galaxy. And this teacher, I told her when I was in first grade, or maybe it was kindergarten, I told her, I'll say Mrs. K, it's your job to serve and protect the galaxy. And when I was in middle school, part of our theater class we had to go back to the elementary schools that we went to and read children's books to them. And I read you had to read them children's books and then dress up as the main character. And my book was Where's Wally or Where's Waldo, Where's Waldo. And so I dressed up like Waldo, and I went back to her class after all these years of not seeing her. And um, I read to her class the Where's Waldo, and she didn't reveal it at the time. I'll reveal she had something. She kept something from me from when I was in that class. She didn't reveal it when I was in middle school, and then when I was a senior in high school, or sorry, when I was like a junior in high school, kind of similar thing. We went back to the elementary schools, and I was there. I went to her class this time. At this point, I'm like 17, right? Older kid about to go to college. I went to her class to say hi because I was at the elementary school doing some like community thing. I don't know what it was, but I went to her class, and she showed me a sticky note that she had kept from the day I told her that her job was to protect and serve the galaxy. She wrote that on a sticky note that day when I was 5 or 6, whatever. She wrote down, my job is to protect and serve the galaxy. And when I came back when I was 17, she had that sticky note. And she was like, you might not remember saying this, but I never forgot. And then the next year she retired. And so yeah, that she was my favorite. That was one thing that blew me out of the water. I was like, there's no way a teacher could possibly care about a student that much, and she showed me it's possible. And I hope she's doing well. I loved her. All right, let's go back to the Instagram ones. What's our time at? 42. All right, we'll do this for another 15. Another soft 15. Are you a smart fella or are you a fart smella? I'm both, baby. I am the one who smells the farts, and I'm the ones who farts the smells. Better get that right. Cut or uncut? Okay. Favorite Christmas or holiday movie? So, I already said Just Friends. That's my favorite rom-com of all time. That is holiday themed. It takes place around Christmas. But my favorite Christmas movie of all time is probably Jim Carrey's The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The one with Polar Express is great. It's a little creepy. Actually, now that I say it, it's very creepy and I don't like it. The Christmas Vacation is always a classic. Shitter's Full. That one's great. Christmas with the Cranks is one that's also nostalgic. I think that's my mom's favorite holiday movie of all time. So anytime I'm home, I try to watch that with her. We did that this most recent Christmas, and it was a lot of fun. That one holds like a place in my heart because my mom loves it so much. Plans for the future? Try not to hate myself. Work in progress. Where can I send my CV to be your girlfriend? Send your CV to Indeed. Get a job. No, I'm just kidding. I don't accept CVs or resumes. I only accept cash, cold hard cash, or a nice crisp hug. Favorite Pokemon of all time? Luxray. Gen 4 Luxray. I'm a big cat guy. Electricity is probably one of my favorite typings in all of Pokemon. So, how to survive being 25? Good friends, good food, good alcohol. You'll be all right. Am I friends with Punxsutawney Phil? No, I'm gonna beat that guy up on sight. I hate a rodent. I hate a rodent bitch named Phil. Talking about seeing your shadows. Go to a mental health care facility and get the help you need if you're seeing shadows, sir. I hate Punxsutawney Phil. Oh, Groundhog Day. She, she, she ground on my hog until I reveal whether or not it's going to be winter for 6 more weeks. What do I enjoy? What do you enjoy the most about living in Pennsylvania? Um, One thing about the East Coast, the Northeast in general, one thing I didn't know about it before moving here was that it's very foresty, and in turn, when come fall time, the trees turn, and it's very pretty. I'm not a big foliage guy. I don't care about foliage, but that was one of the things when I moved here. I was like, wow, this is nice. This is pretty. This is pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Are men intimidated by confident women? The good ones are not. A good man will not be intimidated by your confidence. He will lift it up and embrace it and be attracted to it. Does being an engineer ever get easier or is it always scary? Nope, doesn't get easier. At least not a consultant. Every day I'm asked to do something I don't know how to do, and I'm like, well, I'll give it my best shot. So, yeah, no. I probably can't answer that one. Let's see. Let me refresh. I guarantee there's going to be about 4 million new ones. Wow. Yeah. How do I get a date? Uh, on your knees and beg. Please, please, please. Sometimes that's the only way it works. Boba or Kiki? I've been told that I am Kiki, I think. I could be wrong. How did I decide to pursue engineering? So I originally wanted a degree in hydrogeology. I did not know geological engineering was a thing until I applied to the school that I got into. And when I applied, I saw that geological engineering was an option. And I was like, I don't know what this is. Might as well try it. And the rest is history. I knew I wanted to do something that was going to pay well because I'm a cheap bitch. Because I'm a frugal bitch. No, I was always good at math and I loved the outdoors. So I was like, how do I do both? Environmental engineering, geological engineering, geotechnical engineering. Hola from Brazil. Hola. Me llamo Grayson. Me llamo Grayson. You seem to travel often, both for work and personal time, so I would like to know your do's and don'ts when traveling, especially when doing it with other people. I don't really travel with other people. Also, how long in a relationship would be the ideal time to travel with a new romantic partner? Soon, I guess. I don't know. It depends on like finances. I don't really travel if I can't afford it. Um, my dues when traveling, um, always get an airport beer, and I say that because for me, if you have the availability and you're old enough to do so, an airport beer for me is like one of the top 5 beers of all time. It helps relax you. It's refreshing. It's yeah, it's gonna be $40 and it's gonna taste like garbage, and you're gonna be surrounded by idiots who miss their flights. It is what it is. It's like one of the best feelings in the world. Just like not having a care in the world. You're just sipping a beer and you're waiting for a flying automobile to take off or land. It's like one of the most like just refreshing feelings of like soothing, like I don't have anything in the world to care about right now except for this flight that is either on time or delayed and this beer that's sitting in front of my face. That's one of my travel dues. Always get an airport beer if you have the option. Travel don'ts. I one thing about me, I hate being late for things. I hate the feeling of like, oh, I'm running late or I might miss my flight. I might miss this, miss this. So I always get to the airport no matter what an hour and 15 minutes before I board. I know some of you guys are thinking that's overkill. You should get to the airport or you should get to the gate right as it starts boarding. No, thank you. I have horrific flight luck. I had to stay overnight in airports like 4 times within the last 2 years, maybe 5 times at this point if I can't remember. Every single flight I'm on is delayed to some extent, no matter what. I have horrific flight luck. It's bad. I've had people that have literally like passed out and thrown up in the rows and seats around me, so I'm like forced to deal with this other person's like sickness or whatever. Uh yeah. Yeah. I do follow. I'm one of those people that falls asleep before takeoff too. If you can do that, it's great. You fall asleep for the instructions and all that. You wake up mid-flight for when they have the bev cart coming around and get a. Oh, if I'm on an airplane, that here's what I'll do. I'll do another do that I have. If it's in the later half of the day, a decaf coffee and a water. If it's in the first half of the day, a coffee and a water. I know most people do ginger ale. That's also solid. I like to do coffee and water. It makes me, again, it's another thing that helps relax me. I'm a big fan of coffee. It helps relax me. Like it's like one of those things where it's like it's just familiar. It's familiar. Same thing with a beer. It's familiar. It's comforting. So that's what I would say. All right, that is a long question. Another long one. All right. That is a sips and situationships question. So I'll go back. What's my favorite soup of all time? Chicken noodle soup or chicken tortilla soup. Love those from the bottom of my heart. They're so good. Big fan of soup. Could you? Oh man. Could you throat F me until I die? No, I'm okay. Thank you for asking though. Favorite position? Okay. All right. Okay. What extracurriculars did you do as a kid? I played a lot of sports in high school. I played football, basketball, track, and tennis. And then when I got to college, I played on my college team's travel volleyball team. We played other schools. I was active. I did a lot. Sports growing up in a small town. That was pretty much all you could do. Um, what else? I worked a lot. I had 2 jobs in college. I worked all throughout high school. Now, when I first moved here, I played in an intramural soccer league, and then now I got 3 jobs, including social media. I have the podcast. I do full, basically part-time content creation now, where I'm like making videos almost every day. Try to go to the gym. I know that's not extracurricular. Oh, during the summer, I was in a youth group, and we would like volunteer and do like fun events and stuff like that. Um, what else? I was in like uh, FCS or CFS or something like that. I forget what that was, but it was some like club. I did robotics my junior and senior year of high school. Um, what else? What else? What else? I would hunt birds in my backyard. My mom used to pay me. Sorry for those who are anti-hunting. I am that way now. But when I was a kid, I had a pellet gun, and my mom used to pay me money. She hated mockingbirds. She would just hated them. And my mom used to slip me a crisp, whatever it was. I think it was like a $5 or a $1 bill for every mockingbird that I killed. And then my next door neighbor, he also had a pellet gun, and his dad would eat doves. So we would like hunt doves in our backyards. Uh, I remember when we had a ginormous pond next to our house that would only fill up in the winter. And so I used to go frog hunting. I had these like big water boots, and like once the frogs would lay eggs, you could hear them at night, ribbiting all night. And we would go out there with pellet guns or BB guns, and we would shoot the frogs. Just because they would terrorize the house and the properties. Like it would just, imagine, no joke, imagine like hundreds of thousands of frogs all over the place. Just like splattering in the road. You step on them at night because somehow they make it into the house. That was another hobby that I had. What's the time at? 55. All right. I'll keep going. I'll do a couple more. I want to queef on your face. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. These are great. These are great questions. Um, how do I find a boyfriend? You got to find yourself first, sweetheart, and then you can find a boyfriend. If I could rename the sun, what would it be? Greg. If I could rename the moon, what would it be? Winston. What's my favorite sandwich? Currently, a Philly cheesesteak, hence where I live. Shoddy, what that thing do? It fart, squirt, and burp all at the same time sometimes. Uh, what's my favorite anime? Currently, Solo Leveling. Great question, folks. All right, we're gonna rapid fire. Am I single? Yes. How do I maintain a good work-life balance? Severance. Separate the two. Don't involve the two in each other's life at all, to the best of your uh, capabilities. Why are you straight? I want to marry you. I don't know. I've always been this way, man. Sorry. I apologize. What's my attachment style? Avoidant attachment. If you could, would you? I always do. Why does alcohol people? Why does alcohol kill people? I don't know. Ask me in about 5 years when I die from this. Ah, man. Uh, would you rather have a matte bald head or a shiny bald head? Trick question, trick answer. I would shoot myself in the head if I had a bald head. I would not. I could not do that. I'm sorry. Um, do I love you? I don't know you. Uh, nipple rings with a question mark. Are you asking on me or other people? It's an interesting way to put that. Where did I get my fur baby? I birthed her from my loins. Gay son or thought gay thought or sought gay thought or son daughter. How about stuttering? Uh, top future children potential names. Bingus, Dingus, Lingus, Cunnilingus, and Greg. Favorite cereal? Uh, oh boy. Uh, damn, I didn't come up with a joke fast enough for that one to make sense. We got to move on. I'm sorry, folks. Do I have smelly feet? Probably. Sorry. Uh, what's my favorite flower? Uh, 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 Venus flytrap. What's my Chili's order? Triple dipper. You already know it. Every single time. What's the largest animal you think I think I could beat in a fight? I literally just had a conversation about this with my friends. At first I said mountain lion, and then I was like, actually no, I don't think I could. Coyote. Coyote. Uh, have I ever been to Pittsburgh? No. 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 Uh, what's up with the nickname short and sweet in college? Well, I'll give you a hint. Short and sweet. It could mean multiple things, and where your mind first went is exactly what it meant. Do I surf the internet sometimes? Yeah, I Google myself because I'm narcissistic. What are we at? All right, I think we're close to time here. All right, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that Q&A. Sorry I got rapid fire at the end there. I don't know if this episode was very funny, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will say this: I am enjoying the podcast. I'm gonna keep going. The Q&A is a fantastic way for me to keep popping these things out. I can do sips and situationships every, once a month, twice a month. I can do Q&As all the time. There was probably quite literally 1,000 questions from my Instagram alone to choose from. So, if let me know if you guys enjoyed this in the comments. Let me know what your favorite answer was, or what if you want to debate me on any of my answers, or if you didn't agree with any of my answers. Let me know in the comments. Uh, I have to do this weird thing now where I have to say like, share, subscribe. I'm trying to grow. Um, I'd love to up the budget of this quite a bit. I want to get a better camera, even though I improved the quality. Now you can see all my pimples in 4K or whatever the quality is. Um, and yeah, I like when you guys interact with the videos. I like when you guys leave comments. I get it, leaving comments is weird on some things, but like you can leave comments on Spotify. I don't know if you can do that on Apple Podcasts. Or at least I haven't figured that out yet. But you can definitely do it on the YouTube. But yeah, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell me your favorite parts, tell me everything you hate about me. If you want to turn me on, tell me everything you hate about me. Just kidding. Well, for the purpose of the joke, I'm kidding. Um, um, yeah, we are about an hour here, folks. Happy Monday, everybody. Well, sorry, happy Wednesday when you hear this. I'm recording this on a Monday. Um, Let me tell you something. Maybe you had 23 bad hours today, and I'm so sorry to hear that. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart. Nevertheless, I hope the hour you spent with me is a happy hour. Thank you. I love you all. Good night.